So I was left with unanswered questions after watching the final episode of AntiMagic Academy, and I don't even have a season 2 announcement to lean on for possibly getting the answers. And of course, this can have many reasons. It could be that Silverlink has been contracted to adapt another anime, which I know they have because they have Gate Season 2 to adapt in the next season, and I'm looking so forward to watching that more Rory Mercury. And yes, I am gonna watch the 3 final episodes of Gate right after this one. So just relax, guys, just relax. It could also be that the BD and DVD sales may have been really bad for AntiMagic Academy. That could be, and when I'm talking about that, I talk about the Japanese because they does it a little different than we are used to. They are not used to getting the complete season with all the episodes like we are used to here in the West. They are actually used to getting like this one here with volumes where one volume normally contains two episodes, two episodes of the show, and then depending on the sales of those volumes, volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., how many episodes there is, they actually conclude before the final episode if it is worth for them to make a season 2 or if it is costing them money. It could also be like with Overlord, which I'm pretty sure Madhouse didn't originally think Overlord was gonna do as great as it did. But still, it was basically just made to advertise the light novel. You so basically what they were saying with Overlord was, you like this show, man? Of course you do, man. If you don't do it, you're stupid. If you think Sword Art Online is better, go fuck yourself. And man, that is even my honest opinion, man. That Overlord is so many times better than Sword Art Online. At least the first, at least when we talk the first Sword Art Online season. Season 2, I cannot say because I haven't finished it yet. So yeah, but basically it was just to shall I say advertise it so you can go read the light novel. And I know Overlord is getting a light novel. I cannot recall. I think it is Shin Press that has announced it. I need to find out when it's gonna be released. I think it was this year, and I really need to read that because oh man, I love Overlord so much. And Chibi says the light novel is so good. So it could be that this was just an advertisement for, shall we say, the light novel of this anime. So yeah, I really wonder that. It could also be that there's not enough source material left for them to adapt as season 2 yet, because I don't know if this has ended, if it is concluded, because if it is concluded, then if there isn't enough source material, then we are not getting it, or maybe they just makes it, you know, adapt the last things and then gives us some horrible anime original. And when I say horrible, episode 9, I'm praying that that wasn't in the light novel. I know the fan service part wasn't in the light novel. That I have been told, but this one I really don't know if that is in the light novel. I pray, and if it is, I'm gonna skip that chapter, man. I cannot take episode 9. I hate it. I hate it with a fury passion. I almost hate it as much as High School of the Boobs. And yeah, you know what that is. But still, I've not read this. I've not read it because I read the light novel because it's not out in book form in English, which is the preferred way I read my stuff. But I know it's out in English on the internet. So if anyone that has read it can tell me how far into the light novel are we with this adaptation, anime adaptation, and is there even enough source material left to make a season 2 without putting too much anime original, which could ruin the show? Because if episode 9 had been the first episode, I maybe just said, screw this show, I'm out. I couldn't have taken that, man. Oh man, it was so bad that episode. But before I start talking about all of that stuff, let's get into this final episode and what happened. We find out that Haunted, he actually didn't kill Kusanagi in the last episode. He actually just impaled him so he could use him as bait to basically lure Kisiki to basically release more and more of her demon energy, which could eventually envelop the entire world in it. And of course, that would spread chaos because no one wanted to be eaten, of course. And that is what Haunted wants. He wants to spread chaos. He wants to spread chaos. And also, he's pretty powerful because he is able to take the ultimate attack from Otori when she finally makes a contract with Vlad. And man, I really love her. I love her witch hunting form. I like it. And when I saw it second time, I actually realized it looked a little bit like the Death Queen. I think she was called in Blackrock Shooter. You know, the green one. It looks a little bit like her. Oh man, I just realized that. I realized that when I saw it the second time. Oh man, I like that form. But still, it's really insane. And it also seems that instead of draining mana, it actually drains blood from her. So she could actually end up dying from blood loss if she used it too much. I'm not entirely sure. So it's actually kind of like the Berserk armor, if I recall correctly. I haven't read this fine Berserk. I only know about the Berserk armor. I only know about it. I don't know exactly how it works. I've only heard about it. So yeah, don't ask me questions about that because I'm only on volume 6. And one day, yes, I will be reading volume 6 and getting that review out because I love Berserk, man. I love Berserk. I want to read all the volumes and get off that boat. Yeah, I know about the boat also. Yeah, but he can basically take that, and it wouldn't surprise me if he even survived the hit from, or should say, the ultimate attack from Kusanagi when he uses his God Hunt form. And now you may ask, what is the God Hunt form? It is actually apparently a form above the Witch Hunter form, which is the user, if I understand it correct, basically giving up his soul to the Soul Eater. It's the Relic Eater. It's basically eating his soul in order to give him this form, and it basically means that in short terms he will vanish and stop being himself because his identity will basically disappear when the Relic Eater has eaten his entire soul, and he will then just be a puppet. I'm not sure if Lapis then can possess it, which could, of course, explain Lapis's form. Maybe she had a master before that was female, and then she ate the soul and took the body. That could explain it. I'm not sure. And also Lapis, she likes him. She likes him. Because, man, oh man, if you read it the way she says it, you can, it's kind of like she want to pleasure him, stuff. The way it can be understood that way. And also, she wanted basically, oh man, let me remember the line she uses when she offers him the power. Are you willing to give yourself to me in order to get your desire fulfilled? So, yeah, she is going pretty strong. She even kisses Kusanagi, man. I think she's the only girl that has kissed Kusanagi, or maybe Ikuraka has actually kissed him. So yeah, and that God Eater form, man, that's really powerful. He can even suck the power out of Witch Hunter's armors, which he does to Otori. Man, so he's pretty powerful in that form. And he also managed to save his sister. He doesn't kill her. Even for, shall we say, the things that tells her inner desire actually tells him that he may hurt her again, and he says that's maybe true that he hurts her, and it doesn't matter how many times he has to save her, or shall we say, being knocked down, he will always get up and in order to basically save her. He will keep fighting until he can finally save her from this demonic taint if we will call it that. And that is apparently enough for it to be satisfied, because it then vanishes. And the ending, man, it's great. It's great. Where we see the girls, all the girls. Kusanagi apparently not being eaten by Lapis. Actually, Lapis was the only one missing. He stands with his sister in his arms, and then the other girls just stands and looks out in the sunset. So yeah, it's really good ending. However, there is still unanswered questions, and now let me come into those. Of course, we don't know if Vatari is Canary, but it's most likely. It hasn't been answered. However, that's not what I actually was really biting into in this and really wanted to get answered. It is actually the leader of alchemy, which is talking to the father of Otari, Sogetsu, which he is really shady. That is confirmed in this episode. It's really confirmed. Because he says to Suganami Susaku that when she asked if this can be cloned, he says, no. We sacrificed the entire neighborhood to satisfy your curiosity. So he actually indirectly let Kusaki go and caused the situation so he could satisfy the what's called curiosity of Susaku. And that is not the interesting thing. The interesting thing is her surname, which is Suganami, which is the same surname as Ikuraka and Isaka. So is they sisters, or what I think is more likely because of her, shall say, comment about cloning, is that Ikuraka and Isaka is clones of her. I think that's what's going on. I think that is the case. But sadly, we don't know anything about her other than she is the chairman of the alchemy, or leader, if you will. So yeah. However, we found out that the father, Sogetsu, of Otari, he is actually over 150 years old. Yes, 150 years old. And I wonder, how can he be this old? I can understand why Orochi can be that, because he is a mage. And Orochi is, of course, the leader of Valhalla. And the way we found out was because he says, when he sees Orochi, hey Orochi, it has been 150 years since we last met. And then he implies that it is actually not Valhalla that is the evil people, but him, because he says that no matter what you are doing, we are going to descend hell upon this world. It could, of course, just be me that, what's it called, are reading it wrong and trying to put it on him, because he is pretty shady, and we have seen so much evidence that he is really shady. So it wouldn't surprise me if it turns out that he is the one. But as I said, there's no season 2 announcement, so we don't know if he is shady. If there's even an explanation in the light novel, we don't have any clues so far. Or those that has read the light novel, of course, has the clue. But still, we don't have a clue. But now, what did I think about AntiMagic Academy? Did I like it? Yes. I actually was really interested in it after watching the first episode, because how did he end up of that? And I came to some, shall we say, wrong conclusions, but still, that's part of watching an anime. So yeah, you can't be right about everything, because if you knew how it would end, why would you even bother watching it or reading it? It would also be boring. But still, this show, it's actually really good, because I feared it may turn into, shall we say, a very generic harem fan service. And yes, there has been some fan service episodes, like the abysmal episode 9. That episode, let's just say it like this: had the show started with this, I've just said, I'm out. I'm not gonna bother with this. I've better things to watch. I've better things. This is crap. This is garbage. This doesn't need to exist. And it doesn't need to exist. I can understand why they called it 9.5, because it was so horrible. It was so horrible compared to the other part, which was so great. It was so great. If we didn't include that, man, I would not give it a 10. I'd give it let's see, a 7 or a 8. I cannot give it a 9 because I feel that it's a bit too high, but still I feel 7 is a bit low, and 8. So yeah, I actually liked it because the characters, all of them got really good story development. Maybe the sister could have used a little bit more story development, which they could have used from that abysmal episode 9. So yeah, other than that, I actually enjoyed this show, and if there's ever going to be a season 2, you can be sure that I will review it, just as I will review my Gate. Oh, Rory, I'm gonna. Oh man, oh, you're gonna be so great, Rory. But before I fangasm too much in this video over Rory from Gate, I think I'm gonna end it and get it up, and then see you later with Gate reviews. Cheers.